And welcome into another episode of Dan Tony Sports. My name is Dan Snyder, joined tonight by the one, the only Dan O'Shea. Dan O'Shea, what is up?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Yeah, I would hope you are living that dream life. Oh, man. Speaking of dreams, the NFL season's right around the corner.
Yes, it is, and I'm getting excited. Starting to watch some preseason. Obviously, big fantasy football happenings, big Jets happenings with training camps and getting camp reports and getting ready for week one. Can't wait.
I cannot wait either. Man, I'm so excited. The Cowboys' offense seems to finally be healthy. The Cowboys' defense seems to be coming together. Will both of those things last? I don't know. But I got so excited that I simulated the NFL season on Madden 22. And I just want to go through some of the results that it came up with. Some of them are pretty wild. But one second. So, first off, just absolute craziness coming out of the AFC East. They have the Patriots winning the AFC East with a record of 9-8. And they have the Bills coming in last at 5-12.
Okay, so Madden is off its rocker.
That's a good way to put it. Browns lead the AFC North with a record of 10-7. A little bit more believable than Bills going 5-12, but I think the Browns find a way to win 12 games this season. Titans win the AFC South with a record of 12-5. Texans at 10-7 also make the playoffs. And I forgot to mention, Steelers at 8-9 also made the playoffs. And in the AFC West, the Chiefs finished 15-2, clinch a playoff spot. Chargers at 10-7 also make the playoffs. In the NFC, in the North, Packers win the NFC North with a record of 14-3. Bears also make the playoffs at 10-7. Saints at 11-6 win the NFC South. Buccaneers also 11-6 make the playoffs. Cowboys at 13-4 make the playoffs. They have the Eagles finishing at 10-7, the Washington football team at 8-9, and the Giants at 6-11, which I think is just laughable because I think the Giants are going to be a hot team this year. I think, without giving too much of my predictions away, I think Cowboys and Giants both make the playoffs this year. Seahawks win the NFC West with 11-6. And the 49ers follow up, also making the playoffs at 10-7. And then we get on to... Here we go. The playoff bracket was insane. They have the Cowboys beating the 49ers, the Bears beating the Saints, and the Seahawks upsetting the Buccaneers. In the first rounds. Actually, those rounds don't matter. What matters is the game had the Chiefs and the Bears in the Super Bowl, with the Chiefs just slapping them around 31-17. I actually don't hate the idea of that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
No, I can see the Chiefs, getting to the Super Bowl again for sure. The Bears are not a Super Bowl team. They are closer, maybe, with Trubisky, but I think, I don't think Dalton's gonna get them to the promised land.
No, but Justin Fields does in the Madden season.
Fields might. He's looking pretty good. Only rookie QB that looks better than him is obviously my boy.
Yeah. Yep. Although, from what I hear,
the rest of that was ridiculous, though.
Yeah.
Patriots winning AFC East, ridiculous.
But
Bills going 5-12, ridiculous.
The 9-8 isn't, unreasonable for the Patriots.
No, but for that to win the AFC East is insanity.
fucking insanity. Other than that, good matchups in the playoffs.
And the Saints are going to be trash. I think I don't have any faith in the Saints this year. The only person on that team I have faith in is Alvin Kamara.
I mean, Marshawn Lattimore. Really, I'd rock with him on my team.
Sure. I meant like on their offense.
Yeah.
I just maybe I can see Jameis throwing a lot of touchdowns, but I don't think he's going to be a lead winner.
Well, I mean, supposedly, Jameis Winston, when he was told that he was expected to be the starter and he got this LASIK surgery and all that, just from doing training camp, there wasn't much else that he had done. He's lost weight, and he's like, this is what it feels like to be in the NFL, and I've never felt this. So maybe he just needed that change of scenery to figure things out. Who knows? But I completely agree. The NFC Championship game, Cowboys-Bears AFC Championship game, Chiefs-Browns, that I believe. Chiefs and Browns in the AFC Championship game, that's believable.
I could see that. Yeah, the Browns were almost there last year.
It was some BS from the Chiefs that kept them out of the AFC Championship game. But I don't think that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl or even make the Super Bowl this year. Just going off of projections, I think the Bills and the Browns are going to be in the AFC Championship game.
Interesting. Okay.
Which would be so much fun to watch Baker versus Josh Allen. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. That's just a little aside. Maybe next week I'll run this again and we'll compare it to this week. But let's shift our focus now to the point of why we're here, and that is the AFC West. A lot of talent already in the AFC West. You got the Chiefs, obviously, coming back from a disappointing Super Bowl in which pretty much every entire offensive lineman for the Chiefs was injured, and also in which the only reliable weapon, and I'm surprised I'm saying this, that Pat Mahomes had was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Because Kelsey had drops, Hill had drops, Hardman couldn't get open. It was insane. Mahomes laying himself out to try and complete some passes and just drops in the end zone, made that game really unmanageable and unwatchable. But let's just get right into it. We're going to start with the Denver Broncos. All right. This pisses me off. I don't even want to start here, but we have to. With the ninth pick in the first round, they select, should have been a Cowboy, Patrick Surtain II from Alabama, the corner. Second round, they drafted Javonte Williams, the North Carolina running back. Third round, they drafted Quinn Meinerz. The thing I'm looking at has his name spelled wrong. That's stupid. The guard from Wisconsin Whitewater. Round 3, Baron Browning, linebacker from Ohio State. Round 5, Caden Stearns, the safety from Texas. You never take a defensive player from the Big 12. Round 5, Jamar Johnson, safety from Indiana. Round 6, Seth Williams, wide receiver from Auburn. Round 7, Kerry Vincent Jr., the cornerback from Louisiana State. Round 7, Jonathan Cooper, the defensive end from Ohio State. And round 7, Marquis Spencer, the defensive end from Mississippi State. 3 seventh-round picks, 2 third-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks. And that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks in total. Now, Teddy Bridgewater was just announced today to be the starter of the Denver Broncos. There is a guy that we talked about a couple weeks ago, more than a couple weeks ago, that should be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. And actually, we mentioned him earlier today, and that is Justin Fields. How the Broncos passed up on a quarterback to take a cornerback when they've already got Chris Harris. They have in that secondary, they have Justin Simmons. They do not need a corner. They needed a quarterback. And they saw Teddy Bridgewater. They thought he could be the guy. They brought him in. He beat out Drew Lock. But still, for three things. One, he's so dynamic. Two, he is already proven that he's more durable than Teddy Bridgewater. And three...
Or Drew Lock.
Yeah, or Drew Lock. And three, most importantly, just imagine how fucking awesome Justin Fields would look in orange and blue. I'm just saying. That'd be a good look for him.
I mean, the Bears would agree?
Yeah.
Blue and orange?
I mean, they're a different blue, but I got you. They're more of a black than a blue. The second round pick also, with the second round pick, you have so many needs. You need help on that offensive line. You need defensive line. Who knows what's going on with Von Miller with his, sexual assault case?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do? You then go draft a running back when you've already got 3, right? They have Royce Freeman still. They have Lindsey, and they have...
no, they don't have Lindsey anymore.
They don't have Lindsey anymore? They still got Royce Freeman, and they've got Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon on his final year.
Yeah. So why draft a running back in a position where second round you expect them to at least compete for the starting position? I'm not saying that these guys aren't good players, because obviously Patrick Surtain is the guy I wanted to be a Cowboy. You know, I'm not saying that
Javonte Williams looks extremely talented, and I took him in my dynasty draft second round because I think he's got a ton of talent. But I'm right on board with you. That's not necessarily what you need to right now as the Broncos. You've got serviceable running backs. You have much bigger needs.
Yeah, and then they start to address it with a Division III guard, which I'm not saying Division III players can't be good because Fred Taylor came from Coe College. So, Division III players obviously have a place in the NFL. But why not address your offensive guard and your linebacker, which are much higher needs than a cornerback and a running back, with your first picks, your first 2 picks? That makes way more sense to do, especially where you were drafting. They could have got Rashawn Slater. They could have got, They could have got Elijah Vera Tucker. They could have got Christian Darrisaw. They could have got Alex Leatherwood in the second round. Maybe not.